My name is Khohlisa Chemane, and this is KC Uncomfortable Conversations. Today we are talking my take on relationships. So today we are talking about my take on relationships. My word. This is by far my favorite subject because if you think about it, every woman is always talking about relationships. They're always talking about love. It's the one thing that tickles us. It's the one thing that makes us extremely happy and extremely sad. But I firstly want to talk about self-love because I believe that you cannot give something that you don't have. You have to love yourself first before you can expect the next person to love you. And I mean, this thing has been said so many times, and we think about it, we're like, oh my gosh, that's so cliche. I don't want to hear this anymore. But zithande girl, zithande boy. Because if you don't love yourself, you won't even know how you want to be loved. And you know what it took for me to understand self-love? It took people that I thought loved me leaving. It took people that loved me leaving. It took rejection for me to be able to love myself. Because from day one, all I've ever known is to be loved. Love from my parents, love from my family, love from the community, love from everybody around me but myself. And if you think about it, growing up, nobody ever talks to us about loving thyself. You know, the other day my friend and I were talking to say, men seems to know the self-love more than women. Because we saw one of these trending memes on Facebook, and it was like clarifying that when you say to somebody, I love you, and they say love you, they're not saying they love you back. They're telling you to love yourself. And we miss those little things because to us it's just words. I love you, love you. This person is not saying I love you, they're saying love you. We want something from other people that we haven't given ourselves. And that's why sometimes it's so easy to be abused. It's so easy not to be loved properly and to mistaken it for proper love because you don't even know what is this love that you're looking for. I always say to my friends, define your own love. You need to understand your own love before you can get proper love. So for me, love starts with myself. If I don't love myself, I cannot expect the next person to love me, and I don't think that I'll be able to love the next person. So again, for me, consciousness has helped me to come back to myself. And in coming back to myself and dealing with my past and dealing with my pain and getting over it, it made it easy for me to love myself. And it made it easy for me to know when I go outside of myself and expect love, and expect to be loved, and expect to be valued, it has to start with me. And now I know what is it that I'm looking for. And if the person is not serving me the love that I want, and the love that I need, and the love that I resonate with, I leave immediately. I won't even think twice about it. If the love I'm looking for is no longer served at that table, I leave. Zithande, love yourself. I love me first before anybody else. I am selfish about myself. I am selfish about who I am. I am selfish about my beliefs. I am selfish about my values. I am selfish about my principles. And I am selfish about the person I have chosen to be. It's a take it or leave it with me. Relationship with family. Oh my word, I love that sound, by the way. I love those birds. Okay, so everybody has two sides of the family, right? It's the mother's side and the father's side. Family with the mother's side has by far been the most painful experience I've ever had. My mother was married in Mozambique. Fast forward, got separated with my dad after 13 years. And we came back from Mozambique to South Africa. And I can say from the beginning, the reception from my mother's side of the family was not nice. I've heard people say blood is thicker than water. Not for me. I've had people that are not my blood love me better than my family. My mother's side of the family, first of all, were the first people to call me Ikwerekwere. I didn't even know what that means. Because I came from a country where we were all equal. White, black, it didn't matter. So when I first heard that word, I was just like, what does this mean? It meant that I am not one of them. I remember when my mother used to fight with her brothers. One day they said to my mother, this is not your house. This house does not belong to your children. And I remember one of my uncles saying to me, I must go and grab that big double-story house in Mozambique and bring it to South Africa. So when you start saying family, and when I think of my mother's family, I cringe. Because they kind of killed what family means. Family comes with love, right? Family comes with caring for each other. Family comes with being there for each other no matter what, no matter the differences. Whew, I'm getting emotional. So I've learned to define what is family to me. Family is anybody that loves me. Family is anybody that has the capacity to care for me, even when I don't care for myself. Family is anybody that I can call when I'm in distress, and they will drop anything and come running just to assist me. So for me, family is not a surname. Family is not that we're coming from the same clan, no. Family, for me, a relationship with family is way bigger than that. So, I mean, my mother's side of the family, they've thrown me and my brother out of the house so many times. I've lost count. And there was a time when I'm thinking, they just hate me and my brother. But they don't hate their own, and by their own I mean my mother. One of her brothers threw her out of the house at gunpoint. So obviously after that, I was wondering, it nearly dented what I even think about love. So I had to come back to myself and say, I'm going to define family for myself. But on the other hand, it hasn't been that bad. Because somehow when the universe takes something from you, it replaces it with something more beautiful and something better. So for me, a relationship with family also includes my friends. I've got friends that I call family. Friends that I know when I call, they'll drop everything and come running to assist me. So my friends are my family. But one of the things that I am blessed with is my mother. She is by far the best thing that has ever happened to me. And somebody might be thinking, why are you making a big deal out of it? Your mother is supposed to love you. I've seen mothers who don't love their children. I've seen mothers who don't support their children, to a point where you wonder is it their biological mother? Oh, it's long, bagit. And so I've defined my family by choosing who am I allowing in my space. So my family right now is very small. It's made up of my grandmother, who has gone through so much with her own kids from my mother's side. It's made up of my mother, whom I love so much. She is the pillar of my strength. It's made up of my elder sister, who, by the way, we only share a father. But she is amazing. She is like my twin, spiritually, physically. When I'm not okay, she checks up on me at the right time. She can tell when I'm not okay. Then there's my brother. Oh, my king. I always say my brother has set such a very high bar for the king that is either in my life or coming into my life. What a gentleman. I've never seen a man that comes home with something nice every day. My brother is that kind of a man that when he comes home, he's got his own key, but every day he has to knock. You know why? Because he always has something in his hands, and that melts my heart. I don't have a great relationship with my dad, and I don't want to get into it. It's also those family politics. But what I've realized is that the biggest thing, no matter how you feel about someone, whether they are family or they are your friend and they've hurt you, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is to forgive. So for me, a relationship with family means loving people enough to let them go and to forgive them. And then to allow those that love you genuinely in your space and to appreciate them. But most of all, one of the things that inspired me to start KC Uncomfortable Conversations is that we need to have those uncomfortable conversations. I'll tell you what happened earlier on, and it's a beautiful story. I have an amazing friend. And this friend of mine, when we are shooting, is part of the team. And she corrected me with my grammar because she's like, hey, you do not want to sound like Usman Bani. Ne? You don't want to trend because your grammar was not right. At that moment, I was defensive because it's my character, it's who I am. I'm a Sagittarius, I always want to be right. But I took a moment of realizing that she's doing it out of love. And I realized that I might not have treated her properly in that moment when she was correcting me. I called her and I said, Chomi, I appreciate you. I appreciate you because when I go out there, you want me to be the best. Please don't stop. Even when I'm difficult, push me. And for me, that's love. For me, that's love with family, no matter what. Oh, we're still talking about my take on relationships, my word. So, relationship with friends. Where do I begin? I've got amazing friends. I've got all types of friends. My friends, if I had to describe them in one word, I'd say they are crazy. They are mad. Okay? If you don't have a strong heart of balls, balls of steel, you will not handle my friends. But I love that each and everyone is their own person. I hope I'm saying this right. We are not trying to be the same, but in some way we are beautifully interconnected. We fight like everybody else, but what helps us get along and what makes this relationship beautiful is that we have uncomfortable conversations. I'm a bully, guys. I am a bully of note. I want to have my way. I want to have the last word. I am very defensive. I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be wrong. I always want to be right. Even when I know this thing is wrong, I'll find a way to make it right. And what I love about my friends is there are some that makes me get away with it when I should be getting away with it. And there are those that will not let me get away with it. They will tell me straight up, to me, wrong. You know? And so that's what makes me appreciate the friends that I have now. They have loved me in the nothingness. The friends I have now came into my life when I was just me. And Obviously, they found me in this consciousness and bachichirizalina. And that's the beauty of it, you know. We understand that each person has their own path. We understand that each person has their own journey. So whatever each friend goes through, and I'll make an example with relationships. Guys, we know relationships are complex, right? So I'll be going through something with my partner. And I tell them, guys, when I'm hating my partner, you are all hating my partner. And they help me hate my partner. But as soon as I say, we are loving my partner again, I don't want to hear it. We are loving my partner again. Rachichiriza love, you know. So, but we didn't just get here. It took conversations on top of conversations. It took sometimes being angry so much that other people exit the WhatsApp groups because they are so angry. And then when they come back to themselves, they say, please add me on again. And when they've cooled down, we bring them back. That's the beauty of friendship. Friendship with friends for me means I've got somebody that I can cry with, that I can laugh with, that I can be vulnerable with. You know, back in the days with my other friends, I would only tell them up to a certain point because I'd be scared that they would judge me. With these friends, mang patla, when my friend is in the house in your patla, ngiyamtshela, Musa in your patla, siyaphatla manje or uzohlala dining room mina ngiphatle. Like, I don't hide anything, you know. They know ukuthi makuyisikhathi sokuthi ngigeze ngomuthi bona ngiyamtshela chomi kekena kamole yanukwenza ritual. That's the beauty of my friendship. I don't have to hide anything about who I am. Sometimes when I feel like I've exhausted something, yes, I'll keep it to myself. Maybe from the rest of the friends, but there's always that one person that I know, this one will never get tired of my story. And for me, that's friendship. Somebody that will never get tired of hearing about your problems. But they don't dwell with you in your problems. When you are down, they pick you up. My friends know. Okay, rela 1 hour. Another 1 hour, we come up with solutions. We are not going to dwell in that problem and in that challenge. And I am the queen of be still. Be still. Let's breathe. Let's think this through. And my favorite line, allow yourself to feel. I think as friends, sometimes we don't want to allow people to go through what they are feeling because maybe Rona, our lives are okay. For me, friendship means even when I am at my high, when my friend is at her low, I meet her there. And I find a way to pick her up and take her with to my high and borrow her my high for the meantime. That's friendship for me. I love it. I love my friends. I can't mention all of them, but babangata ki the busisiwas of the world and the leratos of the world, the craziest one in the group, the pendus and the tacos and the musas, and everybody knows their place. And the tatos of this world, everybody knows their place. They know this one is your stage, this one is your stage, this one. Bona, we are not stepping on each other's toes. And they know, I tell them, guys, this is the part that Busi plays in my life. This is the part that Musa plays in my life. But when we all come together, yes, it's best the bombas. Oh, I love my friends. Relationship with the community. Oh, that one breaks my heart because I've realized that where you grow up, when you change, the people don't change with you. When you evolve, they don't evolve with you. And what saddens me with community is they don't try and find out where you at. They make assumptions. They start judging you. Some just distance themselves because they don't understand the person that you have become. I don't hate anything about the community where I grew up, but I've realized that right now, that's not where my support comes from. Right now, my friends are not in the community where I grew up. My friends are people that don't know me, but people who just appreciate what they're seeing right now and loving it and not being apologetic about loving someone that they don't know. Do you understand? So, Yeah. I don't know, I just feel like Ubuntu is gone. Rona re khotse khotwe ngwana a se wa ko lelapeng leo fela. Ngwana ke ngwana wa the community. How o entse bostotu ko next door, no shapa ke mme wa ka mo next door, o bo shapa ke mme wa hao. But I've realized that that thing is no longer there. Everybody just turns their back when, yeah, if I can use that word, when the, shit hits the fan. Everybody turns their back. And you find that you get support from people basa Khohlisa. But it's okay, I still love my community. Ke ngwanyana wa ko Chiptown Mabone, ko Manseville. That's where I grew up. And for those who don't know, that's where Bishop Tutu is from. It's a beautiful small town. But I since had to move out because when I needed the community to support me and to understand me and to understand what we were going through as a family, they weren't there. They weren't there. Nobody stood up for us the way I thought they would stand up for us when my mother and myself and my brother were destitute. Instead, people had so much to say about our situation, but nobody was coming forth to say, how best can we help you guys? But I still love them either way. The best relationship that I have with what I can call a community is my social media people. Facebook is my home, you guys. Facebook is my home. Those people that don't know me have shown me so much love and so much support, more than the people that and these tears are not tears of sadness. These tears are tears of, there will always be somebody that will see the beauty in who you are. And I hope that people from my community will get to see this. And they will not take it that I'm judging them, but I'm hoping that we can grow. I get it, this is uncomfortable conversation. I'm hoping that we can grow. My Facebook family, I love you so, so much. Y'all make me want to do this every day. Whew, okay. Relationship with art and music. For a long time, I was just listening to music because everybody was listening to music. I need to get rid of that tear. So for a long time, I was listening to music because everybody was listening to music. And then I met a guy. Oh my word. And then he introduced me to a genre called jazz. My life was never the same. It hit a spot, it hit a beautiful spot. And for me, that's a love story on its own. So I'm not gonna get much onto it. I think my producer will agree that the jazz love story, it's an episode on its own. I think I wanna do that. So I'm gonna pack that one. But my love for music is beyond just listening to the words in a song. For me, it's the rhythm. It's when a song beat at the same frequency with your heartbeat. Oh my word, it's an episode. A lot of people have heard me talk about polygamy. They've heard me talk about marriage. They've heard me talk about cheating. And I've raised some controversial points when it comes to that. I mean, at some point I said cheating doesn't exist, and I remember, I don't think my Facebook family, especially the ladies, were impressed with me. And I'd like to unpack that one day on another episode. I'm known for a polygamist. I am a polygamist of note, but I think you want to know, how did I become a polygamist? I want to unpack that as well. Everybody that knows me will tell you that girl does not want to get married. I always say, for me, marriage feels like jail. You self-jail yourself, if there's such a word, or if English, right? So that's also an episode on its own that I will embark on one day, and I will unpack. I'm not saying I hate marriage, I just have my reservations about it.